Yep.
Yo.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How long has it been?
I don't know.
Could we have a little bit of brief introduction about yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Hanna Harrell and I am now actually 21. In the fall of 2025, I will be going to UC Berkeley, also known as Cal.
Could you tell us just a little bit about your figure skating journey, like when you started, how long you were active for, are you still active?
I actually started skating when I was like 3 years old. Not gonna lie, I don't even remember my first time skating. So that kind of says a lot of how long I was in that sport. And I was on Team USA. I competed nationally, internationally. I got to represent our country, which was pretty cool. A lot of pressure, but it was a lot of commitment. Honestly, it felt like I was doing like a 9 to 5 since I was 13. But then it kind of, I guess it's gonna prepare me for like an actual work setting. But even now, like, because of like school and since I'm committing to my academics, I actually had to step away, but even now I'm pretty active within the community by helping out with the Learn to Skate programs, teaching students from toddlers all the way to adult skaters. And I try to coach, help out other coaches and other people that I know. And every once in a while I like to go for fun, and it makes me enjoy the sport way more than whenever I was strictly doing it as a job.
We already kind of talked about it, but you will be majoring in political science and legal studies.
Yes.
And obviously that's a pretty big transition.
Yes.
From a professional figure skater to maybe potentially a lawyer in the future. So how exactly did that come about? Like, how did you choose to take that different path, the different route?
It's kind of like interesting because this is something not many people are gonna think about, but skating is also one of the most political sports out there because there are judges. It's not solely like a race. Like, obviously races can be a little, they're like, oh, this is like bad or this is like a penalty or something. But in skating, it is purely political. Like, I mean, obviously, if the best skater that's well known like completely bombs or withdraws, then the other person that's like the underdog is gonna obviously win. But for the most part, even if the person that's like more well known messes up and the person that's the underdog does really well, most likely they're not gonna get any of the points because they don't have a support system. They don't know who the judges are. They don't have maybe the coaches that have like the highest credentials. Like skating, they created so many new rules that come out literally every single year. And it's honestly really hard to keep up with. But even then, with all those regulations and all those rules, to make it fair, it's not fair. So that kind of made me think into more of like how law and politics do come into play in sports, in education, in business, and obviously the political world. And it kind of got me into thinking about going into a law route and possibly even the political route. But obviously, in order to get even close to the political route, I need to have a pretty stable law degree, law background. So
Yeah, it's crazy because something like politics is like the last thing you would expect to have in such a sport.
yeah.
Yeah. This gap year thing, obviously you had 2 years of gap years, right?
Yes, 2.
You see, a lot of people happen to be, especially within like the traditional conservative households, it's a scary thing to think about, right? What would your take be on this idea of taking a gap year, or 2 in your case?
I would say, well, it's not for everyone. For me, it was because I was kind of like.
I hope everybody really listens to this one
Yeah,
right now.
it's not for everyone. Don't
Yeah.
don't do it just because I want to take a break from school. I was doing it because of skating, and I wanted to fully commit to something. And then I didn't want to leave without any regrets and do something halfway. Like, I'm not the type of person to do something halfway. I'd rather do all or nothing. So that was kind of my mindset going into it. And that's also why I stepped away from skating, because now that I'm going to school, I want to be able to put everything into it. And with the gap year, I know it's, for those of you that are thinking about doing it, I will say it's a little trickier. You're gonna have to put a little more effort because, one, you haven't been in school, so you kind of like forget the rhythm of how to do things. But also, it's like you have to make yourself stand out even more. I feel like that gap year, it does show a little bit of standing out, but you have to have a good reason why. And for me, I was able to prove why I took the gap year and why it was a good decision for me. So that's pretty much my take. If you're able to show why you needed that gap year and why it was necessary for you, I think it's something that most people should think about, because it's not always something like, I know some people, like, they took a gap year because they didn't have the funds to go to school. They wanted to study, but instead they did a few community college classes and they worked hard, and they got into a pretty good school.